Hello. Hi, everybody. Everyone that's out there in internet land. Although no one's watching me at the moment, but that's fine. I know that you'll either watch it later on the replay or you will watch it. You'll log in later, and that's fine. So I just want to say to those that are watching, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. So here's the thing. I usually do this on Wednesdays, right? Well, this week, Wednesday, today's Friday. Well, actually, in America, it's Friday, but in England, it's Saturday morning. So, top of the morning to you. And I think that's Irish, though. Is that Irish? That might be Irish. Whatever. Anyways, um, and I got to give you all props too because it's like way early in the morning. So I give you credit if you're up and watching this, you know, but you're not, so that's okay. Okay, so I get to Seattle, and let me tell you something about Seattle. It's fucking cold. It is cold as fuck there. Like, I mean, like I know it gets cold in Vegas in the wintertime. And it's certainly colder than it is in California. That's for goddamn sure. Like, I am 100% certain of that. However, Washington State is, I figured, and this is where I am incorrect, but I figured that, oh, well, it doesn't snow that often. It just rains, and it's probably like, just real rainy, right? Well, bitch, I figured that out that I was wrong on my way to the hotel after I got there on Wednesday night. Like ice. Well, actually, it looked like snow all the way down the roads. Now, if you tell someone that lives in Washington that it's snow, you will hear that it is not snow, that is just ice. Oh, I dyed my hair a little bit darker. I just, normally what I like to do is I like to, in the summertime, go super dark for the summertime. And then in the wintertime is when I go platinum. But this year, I was platinum pretty much all summer. So I was like, oh, I might as well go dark for winter and try it and see what it's like. Because most people go dark for summer. I just don't like doing things that most people do. You know what I mean? Like, it's so ordinary, so basic. Whatever. So yeah, I was in Seattle, and because my tall. I have two. I have three suitcases. I've got a rollaway bag. I have a medium-sized bag and a very large bag. And I would put the tripod in the very large bag, and then I would take it with me wherever I need to go. But the very large bag's kind of messed up right now, so I can only use the medium bag, and I didn't have enough space in my carry-on or in either bag to put the tripod. So, unfortunately, I had to say goodbye and decided to do this when I got back. So then when I get back, let me tell you, my iPhone would not work, and I didn't know that there's a setting on the screen that has like the flashlight and do not disturb screen, like Bluetooth, like all that on that main screen. There's a setting that it's a little lock with a circle around it that says that basically says that it's locking the portrait orientation of the phone. So once I figured out how to change it, I changed it, and now we're ready to go, right? Okay, so before we start talking about Dancing with the Stars Juniors, because that comes on in a couple nights, Strictly comes on. Well, if you're in England watching Strictly, it comes on today. But if you're in America watching Strictly, it comes on tomorrow. I want to talk a little bit about Alexis and Alan's showmance. Well, actually, there's a couple things I want to talk about. So let's talk about Alexis and Alan's showmance. It looks like the petals are falling off of that rose, which surprises absolutely no one. I'm just saying. You know what? And here's why. Here's something else that's interesting. Alexis has been seen spending a lot of time with Milo Manheim. Now, A, they're relatively close in age, and B, I think that's fine. That's fine. Let him, let him hang out with her. That's great. If they want to start dating, that's one thing, because America would probably buy that a lot more than they buy the relationship with Alan. I'm just saying. Okay, so Another thing I want to mention is that it was recently James Hinchcliffe's birthday, and Sharna posted their freestyle, and she basically said that she had so much fun creating with him. Because let's keep it 100% right now. She probably didn't have a whole lot of fun with. I mean, she probably had some fun, but nowhere near as much fun with Bobby Bones, because Bobby Bones was not picking up the choreography like James Hinchcliffe, who had, just like Bobby Bones, had zero dance experience, was a NASCAR driver or IndyCar driver or whatever. He's a race car driver. And he did so fucking good. Like, I personally think Shauna should have won that season. I love Lori Hernandez and I love Val, but I really think that should have been Shauna's season. And I feel like, well, I don't think she had anything to, honestly, I really don't think she had absolutely anything to do with her winning with Bobby Bones. Whew. Sorry, it's a little bit late. Okay. So, all right, let's talk about the juniors. So, semifinals. Next week, or in a couple days, is the finals for Dancing with the Stars juniors. So, that's exciting. So, they had Mackenzie and Sage do a Paso Doble to Edge of Glory. Now, I noticed a few things during this particular number, which actually was really good. So I got to give Gleb a little bit of credit on that. He did a really good job with Mackenzie and Sage. I will say, Sage has a nice butt, and I know he's a teenager, I know, but I'm just saying, when he grows up, becomes 18, he will have a very fine bootay. It's coming along quite nicely. And the only reason I even noticed was because he was wearing those tight Paso Doble pants, and it's just like a bubble. I mean, it's really nice. So, Sage, in 4 years. Okay. Then there was, Sky and JT, who I really hope that they win. I hope they win the whole fucking thing, because she is adorable. She's Japanese, and you know I love me some Japanese. And he is fierce too. Like, he knows his shit. And their team, Alan, you know I've always been a big fan of Alan, even back when he was on the troupe. So I kind of hope Alan wins it. Like, I hope they all get it. Like, that would be so awesome. They did an Argentine tango to Thunder by Imagine Dragons, and it was great. It was great. It was so good. And, you know, JT was lifting Sky, and I know that she had made some comments in her pre-tape piece that she felt bad about, you know, JT can't lift her. And he sure did lift her on the show. Like, that's the best thing about juniors, even though it's not a live show. But, like, they might mess up everything during rehearsals, but when they turn those cameras on for the actual show, they pull that shit out of their ass. And it's fantastic. I mean, really, every single kid on Dancing with the Stars Junior, even Honey Boo Boo, even the Palin kid, Trip Palin, even, I mean, they all are still better than Bobby Bones, I'm just saying. Okay. So then Miles and Riley did a cha-cha-cha to Shake Senora by Pitbull, and featuring T-Pain and Sean Paul. But here's the thing. I got to give Miles a lot of credit, because all of this week Miles was on Blackish, and he was on set all day and all night on Blackish and he didn't actually have any rehearsals with the people until the day before they filmed. Sorry. So they were able to teach him, kind of like what I'm doing with this phone right here, is they were able to have a, like, FaceTime him, basically. Is that? No. Oh my gosh. So there's a twist tie on the floor near me, and I was like, oh my God, is that a worm? I was about to freak the fuck out, but it's not a worm. It's a twist tie. That's so funny. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. So then, so they did the cha-cha-cha, and it was fine. He did fine. They did good. And then, yeah, so as far as scoring goes, Mackenzie and Sage got a perfect score. And then Sky and JT were this close to a perfect score. They got a 29 out of 30. Okay, that's fine. Miles and Riley got a 28 out of 30. And then next was Ariana and Artian. And they did a foxtrot to We're All in This Together from High School Musical. Okay. Let's be real here. High School Musical, I mean, like, I know that it came out recently and that a lot of people love it. But I mean, I just think it's a little cheesy and played out, that's all. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a bad movie. I just think that we've heard so much from that in the past 10 fucking years. I mean, okay. Whatever, they did fine. So, they got a 28, 2 9s and a 10. Okay, so then what they did was they had fusion dances. So they ended up fusing 2 teams together and fusing 2 different dance styles. So now what's interesting is that Mackenzie and Sage and Miles and Riley teamed up and did a samba/jazz. We'll talk about that in a second. To Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus, which also got a perfect score of 30. But here's the thing about that. The next group, which is the young ones, which is Sky and JT and Ariana and Artian. And let me tell you, both teams, they were so fucking cute working together. They were adorable. They were so excited. They had the best time. It was awesome. It was really awesome. I loved it. They did a jive and a foxtrot to 369 by Rhett George, and they got a 29 instead of 30. But here's the thing about that. In terms of level of difficulty, a jazz dance is not necessarily a ballroom dance, even a Latin dance. It's not either. It's just, it's a dance style that you take in class by yourself, right? So mixing jazz and samba is not, you don't have to do that much, right? However, mixing jive and foxtrot that's a lot more difficult, you know. So I personally would have scored it opposite. I would have given the older kids 29, and I would have given Ariana and Artian as well as Sky and JT, I would have given them 30 because I thought they were way better, but that's just my opinion. So, and take it for what it's worth, and I know that's nothing. Okay, so here's the thing. I was gonna say Tom Bergeron, but he wasn't there. Jordan Fisher and Frankie Muniz said, yeah, so we're not gonna eliminate anyone. You're all going to the finals. Now, typically in Dancing with the Stars, and I don't know how they do this in Strictly because we haven't gotten to that point yet. I can't wait to find out. But Dancing with the Stars has pretty much had 4 people in their final for a long time now. So, you know, when there was only 4 teams dancing tonight, I was like, okay, well, I guess they're all, I mean, I wasn't as surprised by the reveal that they weren't going to send anyone home at all. So, yeah. Honey Boo Boo showed up during the show, and I mean, bless. You know, she's got a lot of personality and a lot of sass, but I mean, she's a little bit, and she likes the attention, but she's a little bit out of her element with all of the trained dancers, all the pros. Like, okay. Next week is the finals, and we'll find out who won. But one good thing about juniors is they're following the same format as Dancing with the Stars in the respect that they'll be doing 2 dances and one of them is going to be a freestyle. Now, what's interesting about the freestyle, so here's what I have noticed about this show, and this goes for both Dancing with the Stars as well as Dancing with the Stars juniors. I have noticed that the real creative types have a hand in what their freestyle is going to be. They decide what they want to do for their freestyle, and they do it. It's kind of like they had when they had Junior's Choice. That was kind of like their freestyle, but they had to maintain a rigid form of dance. You know, whereas with the regular freestyle for the finals, they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know, they're judging more on the creative aspects of it. And what's funny is that not every celebrity comes to the table with ideas. So then they rely more on the pro. Now, in this case, I think, first of all, I don't think they'll have any problems with any of the 4 teens or 4 children in Dancing with the Stars Juniors on the final, because they pretty much know what's going on. They know what time of day it is. They do. So, and if Junior's Choice is any indication, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. I'm kind of disappointed that Dancing with the Stars Juniors is gonna end, because it's so great. I hope they do another season of this show. So here's the thing about Dancing with the Stars Juniors. You know, it's been brought up, especially this past week, it's been brought up quite a few times that they should judge the main show like they judge the kids show. So here's what's interesting. So Alfonso Ribeiro, who won Dancing with the Stars, guest judged on Strictly Come Dancing. And, you know, the way they do it is that it's a little bit different the way that they score things in England. So the judges will, you know, decide who's where on the leaderboard. The people call in and vote for who they want to save. They'll find 2 people for the bottom 2, the bottom 2 getting votes, and they have to dance against each other. And then the judges vote on who they want to stay. And then whoever doesn't get it ends up going home. And that's kept things pretty fair in England. And so on Facebook, you know, they posted in one of the Dancing with the Stars groups that I'm in. They had posted on Facebook that Alfonso had said that they need to change the way they do the voting here in America, because it should be just like it is in England. Now, should it be just like it is in England, or should it be more like it is on Juniors, where only the ballroom, in the actual ballroom that gets to see them live, gets to vote? Now, I know why they do Juniors that way, because that's how they tape the show. I mean, it's taped, it's not live. And the reason why they don't do that in Dancing with the Stars, or judge it like Strictly, is because they only have one show. ABC doesn't have 2 nights of Dancing with the Stars anymore. And what's interesting is that even when they had Dancing with the Stars on 2 nights, it felt to me at least like there wasn't any risk of any controversy, but now that's all done. So what's interesting is that, so one of the Dancing with the Stars groups that I follow on Facebook, they printed that article, and someone commented saying, hey, Alfonso, maybe they should change the voting before you won your season. And I wanted to say, and this is what I wanted to say. I didn't, because I don't want to get kicked out of the group, but I really want to be like, bitch, he still would have won, because he won all the America votes and he was the best dancer. Prove me wrong. Like, fuck you. You know, a lot of those Bobby Bones fans, ugh. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He's a great guy, I'm sure, and he's a wonderful radio host, and he's done a lot for country music. But, I mean, his people are just not not all of them. He's got some great fans, but a few of them are just head scratchers. But I'm sure there's plenty of other people that have those same fans too. So, you know, it's just... Anyways, I can't wait for next week, or in a couple days, the finale of Dancing with the Stars Juniors. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be so good. Okay. That was my frozen berry vodka lemonade. All right. All right, so we're going to bid adieu to the juniors, and we're going to hop over the pond and talk about Strictly Come Dancing. So this week was musicals week. You know gays love musicals. Isn't that right, Kyle Fox? Gays love musicals. And the first people to perform were Graham and Oti. Or was it? No. It was Graham and Oti went home last week. It was Lauren and AJ. God, I can't. I it's so late that I'm like starting to get a little bit punchy and we're like, "Ah," but I need to stay focused. So Lauren and AJ, they did an American Smooth to I'm in Love with a Wonderful Guy from South Pacific, and it was great. It was really good. Like it might have been Lauren's best dance. And she got 35. So Craig gave her an 8 and everyone else gave her a 9. But here's the thing. She's doing a really good job, but she's not progressing at the level of everyone else. Now, this is where the people that will undoubtedly chime in and say, oh, you know, that's because two people have dance experience and they're talking about Faye and Ashley. But Stacy and Kevin and Joe and Diane do not have previous dance experience, and they are doing they're keeping up with Ashley and Faye. Lauren, not quite so much. So, personally, we'll get to that in a second. So next was Faye and Giovanni, and they, first of all, so they did a Charleston to the Lonely Goat Herd from Sound of Music. And what's interesting is that, first of all, that's not the style of dance that I would have picked to go with that song, but it was so adorable. Like, it was adorable. And so they played marionettes in their number that they did, and Giovanni had on this blonde pixie wig, which kind of looked like Angel Benton a little bit. And he had on this Peter Pan hat and then these lederhosen. He was pretty cute. I mean, I never pictured him for a blonde, but he looks great with golden hair. And their Charleston got a perfect 40. It was and it was well deserved, actually. They did a really good job with that Charleston. So then there was Charles and Karen, and they did a rumba to Maria from West Side Story. Now, this is another one that I was like, would I really do a song with? But they did a great job. Like, I have to say, every single person that performed for the quiz, they refer to this as the quarterfinals. And Musicals Week, every single one of the couples, the dance couples, they did so good. Like, the interpretations, even for stuff that it was great. It was really, really good. Very well done. I got to give all the props to the folks in England. So they did a rumba. It was okay. They also got 35. Same exact score as Lauren and AJ. The thing about the rumba, so here's the thing about rumba, and this is what makes it so difficult, especially if you're a female pro with a male star. The rumba is all about, I mean, I hate to say it to the girls, but, you know, let's be real. Every other dance is all about the girls. However, the rumba is all about the guy. And he's got to be very fluid. All of his motions, his hips have to be moving, and he needs to seamlessly transition from one piece of choreography to the next, right? However, you know, Charles didn't really do that much. You know what I mean? Like, he just kind of, I mean, there was some hip movement, a little bit of fluidity, but nowhere near as much as it should have been for a rumba, especially a quarterfinals rumba. So they were just okay. And then there was Ashley and Pasha, and they did a quick step to Don't Rain on My Parade from Funny Girl. Now, it's a very hectic routine. It was a quick step. They call it a quick step for a reason. But what's interesting is that, and the judges said this in their critique of them, because they only got 38. Craig and Shirley gave them 9s, and then Darcy and Bruno gave them 10s. But what's interesting about Ashley and Pasha's quick step is that once they started out of the gate, they were off and running for the whole number. Now, it's great that Ashley's got so much stamina that she can do that, but as an audience member, I don't want to say it was boring, but it would have helped if they had done a few slow sections and peppered them into the routine. Then there was Stacy and Kevin, and they did an American Smooth to I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis. Now, this is the one. I mean, Charleston to Lonely Goatherd had me like, huh? And then Rumba to Marie had me like, huh? But American Smooth to Les Miserables, first of all, huh? And second of all, I Dreamed a Dream. What? But you know what? Miss Stacy Dooley better fucking get it. She nailed it. She nailed it. Kevin Clifton was fucking perfect. Basically, they played Fantine and Valjean, and Fantine was having a dream of what her life would be like in the future if she could stay alive. I mean, like, it was really great, and it was way better than I expected. And they got a 38. They got a 9 from Darcy and Craig, and then Shirley and Bruno gave them 10s. Okay, so then there was Joe and Diane. Now, of course, they did something from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. They actually did it to the Mega Mix that is at the end of Joseph and the Amazing. You know what I really think? Okay, so here's the thing. So Andrew Lloyd Webber had his run of Joseph, the new one. I don't know if Jason Donovan, I know Jason Donovan played him in Australia. I don't know if he played him in England or not. He might have. Michael Damian played him here in the United States. And with this new version of Joseph that they did, and this was like 20 years ago, but with this new version of Joseph they had a mega mix at the end of the show. After the curtain call, they had a mega mix, and it was great. And then they did it again with both Jesus Christ Superstar and Starlight Express. So I am praying, I'm waiting for the Evita Mega Mix. And here's what I'm thinking will happen in the Evita Mega Mix. Everyone takes their bows and, they go off stage, and then they come back and this coffin, lowers from the sky, and then out of the coffin flies Evita in her, in a beautiful white dress, flying by Foy. I mean, it would be so ridiculous and campy and over the top, but I can totally see that. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I mean, that would be so great. I would die for that. I would love that. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take away from Joe and Diane's salsa. They did a salsa. And you know what? As far as being a salsa, they did fine, but they only got 36. Craig gave them 8. Shirley and Darcy gave them 9. And Craig and Bruno was the only one that gave them 10. So I found that to be a little bit interesting. Because I actually agreed with it. I thought that really, I mean, should Joe be in the final? Yeah, he's definitely one of the top 4, for sure. So he should be in the final. And in terms of will he win? Should he win? Okay, wait. So let's just tell you who went home. So the bottom 2, it had everyone gobsmacked and shocked, were, again, Ashley and Pasha. And who was the other one that they danced? Charles and Karen. Now, they announced Charles and Karen first. Okay, so he's in his head, he's thinking, okay, yeah, I've got to dance. So I've got to dance one more time. I've got to do it better. I've got to take the judges' notes, And then once they said that they're dancing against Ashley and Pasha, I'd have been like, just give it to her. Just fuck, you're going to save her. So they all saved her, just like he thought. But, this was the first time we actually saw Ashley sort of, and here's the thing, a lot of people now we're going to go from the crazy American fans to the crazy British fans. They watch Strictly Come Dancing, and then they go and post on Facebook, and literally almost every other comment is all about Ashley and Faye's dance experience, or that Ashley's so full of herself, or how much they hate Karen, or, there's all kinds of crazy stuff, right? It is pretty nuts. But normally Ashley goes on and she just does her thing and doesn't really let anything anyone says bothers her. But this week you could see that because this was the second week in a row she's at the bottom. She's like, and the field that they're in, how many dancers are dancing in the competition is getting smaller and smaller. And so she knows now that she does not have that big of a fan base in England. So now there are some people that will still vote for her because they believe that it should be the best dancer and not who's the most popular. However, that's not how the votes are tabulated. So, but the good thing about England though is that with this, when the final happens in a couple weeks or next week, tomorrow is actually or if you're in England today, later tonight, is the semifinal. I don't know if they do freestyles in their final or not. We'll find out. But I know that, I just don't know. I don't foresee Ashley winning the final. I see the judges, if she's always in the final, she will eliminate anyone that goes up against her, and the judges will pretty much do that. And I'm okay with that, because in England, on the very last day, the public only has a say in who stays and who goes home and who gets the mirror ball. So that's cool. I think personally, if we're judging just on terms of dancing, I think it should be between Faye and Stacey personally, because they're both fierce. And if they're doing it also in terms of popularity, Joe Sugg has like millions of followers on YouTube. Now, here's an interesting thing about that though. You can have millions of followers from all over the world. I only have 63 followers, but I know where all of them are, and they're all spread out around the country and other countries like England and Japan. So it's really, it's an interesting conundrum that Joe has found himself in, because, he'll pretty much coast on by to the end, and we'll see if his fans show up to vote for him or not. 'Cause, I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But I will say my top four are still going to be Ashley, Faye, Joe, and Ashley, Faye. Oh, and Stacey. Oh, Stacey. So the bottom two were Ashley and Pasha and Charles and Karen. Charles and Karen obviously went home. Now, who should really be quaking in their boots is actually Lauren and AJ. Because if at the bottom next week, it's Pasha and God, I can't fucking talk. Pasha and Ashley versus Lauren and AJ, they could just pack their bags and go home, because they know the judges will always say, and in that case, I would save Ashley and Pasha too, because they are killing it every single week. So I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes next week. I can't wait to see next week what the freestyles are, if there are freestyles. I hope so. And then, yeah, that's just how that is. So I'm definitely looking. Oh, what's interesting also is that they announced the Strictly Come Dancing live tour, and Faye Tozer is going to be with the tour, whether she wins the mirror ball or not. And here's the thing about that. I kind of want to go see it. I kind of want to go back to England so that I can see the Strictly show. Now, normally I would only go if I was going to see Steps. Because, like, for example, Claire Richards had some shows in England recently, but she's not my favorite member of Steps, so I didn't really feel the need to go out there. But Faye is my favorite member of Steps, so I really kind of want to go support her somewhere. I don't know. We'll wait and see. But what's interesting is that Kevin Clifton, who is the second reason I would be going, actually is not going on tour with Strictly. And Stacey Dooley, though, is, and she's dancing with Aliash, which is, but because Kate's not doing the tour, so it's interesting that, that Stacey's going to be dancing with Aliash. I kind of want to see the whole show. Like, I kind of want to see what they put together. Because when they do those tours here in the United States, DWTS tour, when they do those tours, oh God, I've got to buy my tickets. When they do those tours here in the States, it's mostly just pros. And not even that, but all the good pros, it's not them. You know, there's no, the last tour, there was no Chmerkovskys, no Max or Val. There was no Derek Huff, because he hasn't been on the show in a while. Same thing with Mark Ballas. But like, there was also no, there's basically no Cheryl Burke, no Kim Johnson. It's basically all the young kids, all the young pros, and the troupe. And they do most of the numbers, and they had a celebrity come out and dance with their partner, whoever they won. But this year we've got a lot of random different people showing up on tour. So we've got Bobby Bones, which makes sense because he won the whole competition. It makes sense that he's going to go. And then Milo Manheim, which you know I love me some Milo, so that's good. Joe Amabile is going on tour. Just hurts my head. I cannot. Yeah, but it's interesting. So I got to go see it. I'm going to go see it here in America, the Dancing with the Stars tour. But I think that I need to see Strictly in England, so I might need to work on my calendar. When I'm able to find out what the dates are and where they'll be, so we'll find out. Anyways, I know it's kind of a short show today. It's only 36 minutes. Normally I can go on for hours and hours, but we don't have the main Dancing with the Stars show to talk about anymore. So it's just juniors and Strictly, which I'm okay with. I love me some Strictly and I love me some juniors. It's fantastic. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone that logged on to watch this after the fact. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you can please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Angel Benton. And you can you don't have to hashtag anything, whatever. I'll find you if you're a follower, I'll find you. Anyways, thanks for logging on today, everyone. Have a great day, and I will see you on Wednesday of this week. Maybe. It might be Thursday, though, because my friend Ryan Raz is coming to town, and he wants to have dinner, and he said either Tuesday or Wednesday. So if he does it on Tuesday, I'm totally okay with that. If he does it on Wednesday, I might have to push this till Thursday, but we'll find out. Anyways, thanks for logging on. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.